All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ali Asman, and I am the Customer Experience Product Manager here at Scribenote. My colleague Charlotte is also here, and I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Charlotte. I'm from Scribenote's marketing team. We're super excited to have you all here so we can show you how hard we've been working to make really awesome PIMS integrations that you can get started using. So I'm going to give it back to Allie so she can get started with the webinar.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlotte. And today, as Charlotte said, we're going to be talking about how to make Scribenote feel more native and more integrated into your practice information management system, such as Avamark, EasyVet, Impromed, whichever ones that you're using, we have an option for you. So we're super excited to show them to you. And today, within the next 20 minutes, you're going to learn exactly which one is right for you. And we're going to help you understand the ins and outs of both of them. We'll show you exactly how to set them up and use them. We're also going to talk a little bit about who we are, and that's where we'll start. And then we'll open it up, of course, for some questions and answers. And on that note, if you do have any questions during the presentation, we're going to use that Q&A section down at the bottom. As you can see here, there's a little window where it says Q&A. Feel free to put any feedback in there, any questions that you have. Charlotte's going to be going through and answering those as we go, and then we will talk more about them during the Q&A. And during the Q&A, just feel free to raise your hand once we get there, and you can come off mute. We'll chat. We'll talk about any questions or feedback that you might have. So we're super excited to get rolling. And one last little side note as well. We did notice in registration that you guys had a couple questions about the adaptive templates. And so before that, what we're going to do is we'll send out some resources in the follow-up email for you. And then if you have any questions outside of the resources that we share, feel free to reach out to Charlotte or I or our customer delight team, and we can help you further. But we just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, and this session is being recorded, so you will get a copy of the recording from today after. So you can just sit back and relax, take it all in, and if you need to come back and watch it, you can do so after the webinar.
Awesome. So we can jump right in. So who are we? We are scrubs. We're not suits, and we love to be in the hospitals and be right next to you as much as we can. This is just some of the pictures I love to share about our team. But if you're not familiar with us as Scribenote, we are founded by clinical people and engineers in combination. Actually, it's a perfect split of two each. We had two veterinarians and two engineers. And so we are just always doing our very best to hear from you, build along, not only for you, but alongside of you. So yeah, and I always love to share some of these pictures. You can see Charlotte's even here in one of them. So cute. Our two of our founders are down here working in the hospital, actually on our scribe phone. Our head of business is right in the middle here. It's such a cute picture of him getting ready for surgery. One of our engineers on the floor in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't know if that's his like typical workstation, but he looks relatively comfortable. And then one of our doctor founders up here in the right-hand corner. But we always love to share a little bit more about who we are and why we're here. And really, we're here to make your lives better and easier, and we know whatever we can do. And in saying that, one of the things that, and the reasons that we stick so closely to that and to you directly in the hospital as much as we can is so that we're able to understand, what you're experiencing, and then, of course, build solutions to solve for that. And so, in terms of integration and systems, these are a few of the most common pain points that have come up for us. And we'd love to know, Charlotte's going to post a quick survey, but we'd love to know if any of you have experienced some of these. But of course, first and foremost, you already have a ton of systems to manage. So we don't want to give you more. We want to make the ones that we do have feel as, natural and integrated as possible. So that's our option one. Option two is some of the systems that you do have could be slow and potentially unreliable. Radiology service, I'm kind of looking at you, unfortunately, but as we know, that it's just a little bit hard to work with. It's not always reliable. And on that note, they can be complex to use. And so it's something we've definitely heard is that it just takes even mental energy to use them. And lastly, of course, if there is a system available for your PIMS, all of the above applies. But first and foremost, it has to be there. So we know there are limited integrations available, depending on the PIMS that you're using. So we'll give you guys a minute. It's always good to see and share some insight. It looks like neck and neck for 3 and 4. Oh my goodness. All right. It looks like there's a lot of limited integrations coming in. So that's something that we've worked really hard to solve. So I'm happy to share some of our solutions coming up.
Yeah, you're in the right place.
You're in the right place. That's right. All right. And this guy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our integration philosophy, sort of going off those pain points. And so turning more towards sort of how we're solving for them and to share some insight with you on when we are thinking about your pain points, then what is our next step and what are we trying to idealize as a company as we start to build solutions for you so we can avoid some of those pain points. And first and foremost, we know that everyone has a very unique workflow, and we do our best to honor that. And so our goal here is really we don't force a one size fits all. We have a couple solutions you can use depending on, of course, the nature of your PIMS and what you guys do use. But we have something for you and to give you options so that you don't have to have that one size fits all. We support both browser-based and server-based PIMS, and so we have an option for both systems there. Of course, something we're always thinking of and why we even exist is because our founders are innovative. They're always looking for ways, to embody innovation and push the boundaries of what we are capable of doing. Um, and last but not least, and for those of you who are already customers, I imagine you already are somewhat familiar with this, but we aim to be as intuitive as possible. And so minimal clicks, minimal disruption. How do we understand that we exist because of your mental overload and decision fatigue and things like this. So you don't, so we do our best to make it feel sort of as easy as possible. And that is definitely at the forefront of our building philosophy. And our key takeaway here really is that we give you the same result. It's just a matter of how you get there. So we do have an option for you. And it's a matter of, again, personal preference, your PIMS, and then we'll find the right thing for you. Okay. And so as far as our options go, right now we have two of them. First and foremost, our widget mode. And if any of you are familiar with our our desktop widget that we used to have, our clicky, sorry, I always forget the full name, but some of you who've used it in the past, I'm sure you remember.
Draggy
Click to,
droppy. Yeah, draggy droppy.
yeah, yeah. Draggy droppy click to copy. Thank you, Charlotte. It's a mouthful, but it's my favorite name ever. But that's where widget mode was really born. So our engineers have taken that, they've leveled it up, they've made it even better for you. So if you're familiar with that, then you're in the right place with that one. And it is built to work on any PIMS, and specifically, it works really well when used in combination with a server-based or even a desktop-based PIMS. But you can absolutely use it on a browser-based. You can use it with any of them. It's super streamlined. And our next option being our PIMSpal. So this one is really where I think we embody innovation the most in these two options. Right now, it is designed and built for browser-based PIMS. So any of you out there who are using some browser-based PIMS, this one would be the right one for you. And so Charlotte's actually going to post another survey for us to get an idea of what PIMS that you guys are using. And that helps me and her understand better about, like what the breakdown of the crowd is so we can give you some really great time spent on each one.
Actually, if you guys could leave your PIMs in the Q&A section, we'll just
Mm,
write those out.
perfect. Yeah, it's always helpful to see for us because then we can better direct you.
We've got
And
Pulse, Cornerstone, two Cornerstones, three Cornerstones. Okay, lots of
oh,
Cornerstone,
excellent.
lots of server-based. and one cloud-based cornerstone, a lot of cornerstones,
Wow, a lot of cornerstones. Okay,
one
okay.
Impromed, PetPoint. I've never heard of that one. That's a new one.
Oh,
Do you know
man.
that one, Allie?
I don't. No, I haven't heard of that one.
Impromed. So kind of all over the board.
Okay, good to know. Excellent. So we'll spend equal time in both. It's always, sometimes we get a little more of a directionally, in either one or the other, but it sounds like we have a pretty diverse group. So we're excited to chat about both. And some things to keep in mind as we're going through this. Most practices only need one option, but you can, like, say, for example, Charlotte and I are together when we're working in the same practice. You can use either one. And so if you wanted to, if you wanted to use widget mode, but your colleague really loves, PIMSpal and you guys are working next to each other, that's totally fine. It does not matter. You can use, provided, again, the PIMS supports it, you can use either one at any time. So in saying that, our next note is sort of the right choice really does depend on your PIMS environment. It doesn't, depend on practice size or what your teammates' choices are, nothing like that. And last but not least, Charlotte and I, being your customer experience and product team, are here to help you and to guide you. So feel free to, ask us any questions along the way. We're really here just to help you succeed in getting this to feel as natural as possible. All right, so first, we are going to start with our widget mode. So again, if any of you are familiar with our old desktop widget, our draggy droppy, as we sort of informally refer to it as internally, this really should be familiar to you. This is very similar. The differences here are in the functionality, which I'm super excited to show you. And as we previously stated, it works with all PIMS. So it doesn't matter what PIMS you have, you can pop it right out of Scribenote and you can use it with any of them. And we always like to call out the server-based ones because typically we know integrations can be challenging there. And so it works really well even if you have, the server-based or the desktop-based PIMS. And so really, what is it? I feel like that's always the big question. What's a widget? What is widget mode? And it truly is a widget. It lives within Scribenote, actually over your inbox, which I'll toggle over to in a minute to show you. But it's a pop-out widget that you can sort of tuck over to the side on your browser, which is great because it gives you the flexibility not to have to toggle back and forth between your PIMS and Scribenote. And really, why should you use it? Of course, the reason why we're all here, it simplifies your integration. It really easily, you can really easily drag and drop from widget mode into your PIMS, which is great as soon as you're done recording and you're ready to move your note into your PIMS. And then again, any PIMS, which PIMS will it work with? Any of them is great. And specifically, it works great with server base. So that's awesome. And then last but not least, how do I set it up? So we're going to jump right in. So the way it works is once you are done recording, so now we can pretend that, we just wrapped up our appointment, we're done editing our note, and now we're ready either in the middle of our day, at the end of our day, whatever your workflows determine, to transfer your note into your practice management software. All you have to do is come up here to your inbox and select this button on the right-hand side. And then this is our widget mode. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And you can see here, I can see both of my appointments mirrored here from my inbox. And what you can do, and you'll see, is toggle over to your PIMS, and you'll notice it stays with me, which is great. That's one of the things we love most about it. And then when I'm ready, I can open it up. And we have a couple options here. So the one I like the most is being able to drag. So you can drag right into your PIMS as needed. Or what you can do is you can click. It looks like my subjective is empty, if that's okay. You can also click and then copy. And so let's try it with our assessment. If we copy, and then you can go over here and paste. Perfect. So whether you want to drag, whether you want to click, depends, total personal preference here. Again, I prefer the drag because I think it's fun and easy, but whatever you like is great. And then one thing that's really cool here is if you click this down arrow, you can actually see and preview each section. And so if you're looking at this and just as one final check and you're like, okay, great, I just want to make sure everything looks good before I move it, no big deal. But then you're like, oh no, actually I spot like he actually wasn't dehydrated. I checked his labs and everything was okay. I want to change this. That's totally fine. If you click this little pencil here, it actually brings you right back to the note within Scribenote. So that way you can really easy access to the edit screen. You can go right back in, and I'm going to scroll down and say, okay, I want to take this out. See you later. And then I'm going to then I will move back over to my PIMS. I'm going to collapse this just so it refreshes. And when I come back, you can see now dehydration is not there. So I'm going to pull this out. We'll pretend like I did that before I dragged it in, but then I can now drag, drop, and you can see this is the updated finding. So it syncs really quickly directly with Scribenote, and you can get things in seamlessly and easily. Also, down here, so say, for example, you actually only have one text field and your PIMS doesn't have the separation the way this one does with each section having its own text field. No big deal. You can hit this button here and it copies the entire SOAP. We'll just put it in this box for now. And then I can paste this in too. So you have options depending how you want to get it in. Again, very similar to draggy droppy if that's something you had used historically, and makes it just a little bit easier and feel a little bit more native there. And that's it. I think one thing that's again really great about this is you'll know, and actually I'm going to have to X out of it so we can move on, but it will stick with you, which is nice. So whenever you need it, it's there for you. And yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All right, and next up, we're going to chat about our PIMSpal. Okay, so our PIMSpal, this is a picture of it here, and I'll certainly go a little bit deeper into context when we do the demo, but you can see here, this one actually lives within your PIMS, and so it is a Chrome extension, and you can see it sort of attaches to the bottom of your text fields, which is super cool. So it's actually within your screen. It's not a pop-out, it's not a widget, it's not separate, which is very, very cool. It was initially released for actually Pulse and EasyVet, and you do have some elevated functionality there with patient detection and a couple of other things. So if you are using either one of those are very, very cool. I would highly recommend checking them out just because that is what it was built for. And now we have opened it up to any browser-based PIMS, and we're adding some extra functionality there as well. But very, very cool options with this guy. And again, what is it? I feel like that's always the biggest question is like, what is it actually though? And with our PIMSpal, it is a Chrome extension. So it's very easy to download. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. And why should you use it? It's the most intuitive integration that we have. It's very, very cool. Again, it makes it feel as though Scribenote is directly within your PIMS. It makes it feel as native as possible. So for this one, it really is sort of your go-to if you're looking for that, embedded feel. And for this one does only work with the browser-based PIMS. So if it is something that works within a browser, you can use it, which is very cool. But it is limited to that due to it being a Chrome extension, at least for now. We'll see, what the future holds. Again, it's always something we're innovating on. And then how do we set it up? So in order to do this, all you have to do is go to the Google Web Store. You're going to come up here and hit Add to Chrome. You'll see this pop out here where it says Add Extension. And I just want to preface too, because this has actually been called out historically, where it says read and change all of your data on websites. This is something that we see with every Chrome extension. So it's not unique to Scribenote, and Scribenote is certainly not going into any data past what you put in Scribenote. So just to sort of preface that and let you know that we're very familiar and we're happy to share any additional context there if needed. We'll hit Add Extension. Perfect. So now it has been installed, and you can see it up here on my browser. So what we'll do is we're going to go into our PIMS, and then what we'll have to do is enable it on our PIMS so that it is available anytime we're in the PIMS. And so you can see we have our Scribenote listed under our extensions under this puzzle piece. And all you have to do is select Enable PIMSpal on this page. Once you have done that, now it's enabled. And whenever we click into a text field, sometimes it's tucked away. You see our little PIMSpal logo here. Hit the down arrow. And now we can see we have the PIMSpal box attached to this text field. And so because we're new and we just downloaded it, we're going to go log in. So I will log into my Scribenote account. Give it just a minute. Okay, great. And so now we can see it has detected that we are in a subjective and it's ready to go. And so again, this is to be used after you have edited your note. So now we can pretend we're done recording, we've edited, and we're ready to now put this into the PIMS again, midday, end of day, whatever you'd like. And so what we're seeing here is this box on the top is a preview of the section that we're in. So right now we're in the subjective, and you can see this. PIMSpal knows that, and it has detected this is a subjective section. And so that's what it's showing us for this particular record. But maybe you go in here and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't Navy. I'm actually trying to put in Julius or a different patient. No big deal. All you have to do is go down and search for whatever one you are looking for. So we can use this one. Actually, it's our horse, Kiki. Great. So now you can see, okay, I'm in the right record. I can read this really quickly, just make sure. And then all I have to do is hit import and we are ready to go. It drops it right in and then we can move on to the next one. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll tuck it back up, but also you can move it. You can resize it. So for example, because you can see here, it's covering my objective section. So you can always move it out of your way. It's really flexible to be able to kind of pin it and move on. Okay, great. So now I'm going to move in my objective. You can see it has already sensed the objective here. But maybe, you have, because we know a standard workflow is that a technician will start an appointment for you. So maybe you already have some text here. We'll say we'll put in a quick TPR. So I'm going to say, whoops, put in we'll put this in really fast. Okay. And of course, that's not information you want to lose. And we certainly don't want to replace it with it, especially if we don't already have this listed on Scribenote somewhere. And so right now what we have is an overwrite button. So if this is toggled on, now what you'll see is if we go to insert this and import our objective section in, it will take that text away and overwrite it. But if we uncheck it, it will leave it. So then all we have to do is uncheck it, make sure we're good. Okay, I'm going to read through it real quick. Looks good. And hit import. And now we're able to keep all of our notes, but still import very easily into Scribenote. All right. And so that is it with PIMSpal. This one is very simple. It's very straightforward, and we can't wait to hear more. Please put in any feedback that you have, and we can start to take questions and such. But for next steps, what you can do, so beyond this webinar, of course, connect with either your customer experience team, so myself or Charlotte, or our customer delight team, explore any of the resources on our website. So beyond this webinar, of course, we'll send you resources, we'll follow up and all of that. But I just wanted to quickly point out that if you do have questions about anything that we've gone over today and you're looking for more, this link will lead you right to directly with our FAQs and our help docs about PIMSpal and Widget Mode. And then, of course, ask any questions that you would like during our Q&A, which is right now. So feel free to come off mute. Feel free to raise your hand, and then we'll take you off mute, and then you can ask some questions. And if you are not yet a customer and you would like more information, we will send you a link so you can request a demo with our incredible sales team, and they can help us out as well. All right, so I will move over to our questions, and Charlotte, I will hand the mic to you.
Well, um, we don't have any questions coming in quite yet. Oh, okay. What is the difference between a completed note and an exported note?
Mm. That's a good question. Typically, what will happen is when you are editing your note in Scribenote and you mark it as done, that moves it over to ready to export within your inbox. And then what will happen is whenever you hit either copy paste at the bottom of your record and move that either manually in our sort of standard workflow, just using the website, or if you use one of these tools, either Widget Mode or PIMSpal, it'll then mark it as export within your inbox. So really, it's more of just a designation to keep you organized within your inbox on Scribenote. But otherwise, you can still go in and edit it. You can actually move it out of exported if you need to for any editing capabilities.
Great.
Awesome. We'd love any feedback as well. If anyone
Um,
has feedback to share.
Another question. I can't seem to access the integration features. Do I need to upgrade to the Scribenote Pro plan?
Ah, that's a great question. Yes, you would.
Okay. We have another question from Lisa. It's an adaptive template question. Is there a way to use our current exam form set up in the adaptive template, but add in the SOAP format to that new template?
Mm. Yeah, and we'll send over some resources for you, Lisa. We'll be happy to help you with that too. So take a look at our follow-up email for that. And then if you do have questions beyond, again, what we share, then reach out to our customer delight team, and then we can set up some more like private time for you to help you set that up as well, if needed.
Yeah, you can reach out to support@scribenote.com and I'm sure they'll be happy to help.
Yeah,
We got one more question. Does it integrate with Woofware? So I
yeah.
can take this, Allie, or you can.
Oh, go for it, Charlotte.
So it does integrate with Woofware. You can use either PIMSpal or Widget Mode. So if today you found there was one solution that you thought, worked better with your workflow than the other, then you're free to use, either one. You just have to make sure that if you're using PIMSpal, that you just enable it on the page. Otherwise, it might not pop up right away on its own.
All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, we're happy to give you some time back in the day. Um, Feel free if anybody does have any feedback about how, especially, what your perception is of either one. It's something we'd always love to hear. Or if you've used either one too, and you have either questions or feedback that way, we would love that as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for coming and keep an eye out for our email. We'll shoot along the recording, some resources, and here are emails up here as well. So if you guys are looking for some more support, we're happy to help you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
Yeah. Hope everyone has a good weekend.
Yes.